The Tin Man.
No, you were the Tin Man?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, no.
I didn't know what the hell it was. I don't know.
You didn't have a heart?
I know, right? If I only had a heart. I remember. Anyway, any questions?
Any questions at all?
Yeah, I just wanted to know how different is film from theater?
Very different, because first you don't have 1,000 people, not that you have thousands, but you have a lot of people when you do a film, behind the camera. You have the electricians bringing the lights, you got PAs, and you got so many parts that go into making a film. Post-production, pre-production. With a play, you got the actors, the director, and unless it's like some really way out thing like Spider-Man on Broadway, you got a stage like this, and some basic furniture, and it's really about the acting. And with film, if you make mistakes, of course you can cut, but that you can't do with theater. So you basically learn how to you learn how to have a lot of confidence in theater, because you're out there on your own, and sometimes your actor you work with, he's supposed to be going out stage left. And stage right, he goes out that way, and he's supposed to bring back a hammer or something. He doesn't bring a hammer, so you have to use a chair. So you gain confidence because you're left on your own. It's over.
Any other questions?
What martial arts have you studied?
Well, my father was best friends with a karate champion named Gerald Orange, and I was 6 years old. My brother was 8, and he had us doing a lot of training in the park when we were kids, in the snow and everything else. And that was a karate style. And then I studied Aikido because I was at a community center. I was 13, and that was the art that they had. And even though it was great because you learn movement and how to fall, but I wanted to be like Bruce Lee and throw kicks and high kicks, so I started doing Taekwondo. And I did that for a long time, and I started competing with Taekwondo. And then I saw Robin Cleef in a movie called The Black Dragon, because I was watching all those Kung Fu movies, because those were really, really popular when I was a kid.
Nice.
And my father said, "Oh, Ronnie, I know him." So he introduced me to him, and I started training with him. And my stepfather was a boxing coach, so I was in the gym with boxing. So I won a New York City kickboxing title. I studied Shaolin. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with world champion Marcelo Garcia right now. We're going to compete in April next year.
And you studied a lot of good systems. And boxing, that's very practical too. Like Bruce Lee would say, all the arts together, make. Never do any Tai Chi?
Actually, Gerald Lawrence did it, but I was very young and I wasn't interested.
Yeah, it's boring. But
give me a sprint. I want to be like.
It's boring, but it's very good for health. And
you want to show everybody?
Well, I actually do. I'm a Tai Chi master, but I teach for health, but it's very good.
Yeah, no, I know now.
Your internal energy. But you add that to your repertoire. Trust me, especially as you get older, it'll keep you young.
Yeah.
But you studied some amazing arts. The Jiu-Jitsu, the Aikido, all these arts, all of them are amazing.
Go ahead, Tom.
When is your next UFC fight?
That's you never know what happens, but I don't plan on fighting. That's why I'm doing the BJJ, because you don't have to. After a while, you don't want to be getting.
Those guys are brutal.
You get a lot of contact on your body, and you get used to it. But it's more work than, because you you go home. It's like football. You lay down and you feel all these different pains everywhere. So with the jiu-jitsu, you're not getting hit. You feel the heavy, intense workouts, but you're not feeling a lot of the hits.
It's right up there where catching bullets with your teeth.
Yeah, that was bad for my dentist didn't like that.
Do you still keep in touch with the cast?
Some, Denise Matthews, who used to be called Vanity, she contacted me on Facebook. She's a pastor, but
really?
She's a little nutty.
Really?
She's cool, but she's nutty.
Come on.
You know how the pastors are,
No, I'm like.
thought you handled the romantic part of the film quite well.
I did my best. I was young. She was hot, so it was a little hard.
How old were you in the film?
I was 19.
You were only 19.
19. Wow.
That is good.
What year was that film?
80 shot me at Lucky Mountain. Was Vandy a diva back then? She was the diva.
Oh, yeah.
Jay has a question.
Raise your hand high so I can see you.
Two questions for you. One, Evan, did you ever have any difficulties dealing with the fight director at the end?
One of them I did. He wanted my role. He was a freak, you know. But we iced him real quick, you know.
And two, did Benedict ever teach you any moves?
I'm gonna keep that a secret. Oh, Pennsylvania, you guys.
I got a good one. Bruce Lee, was he an influencer? Because you have that Bruce Lee charisma, and you came forth in that
Thank
film.
Yeah, exactly. Who was the martial artist that you looked up to when you were coming up? Because if you're only 19, you must have really been in
Well, all the Asian cats are doing kung fu movies. Obviously, Bruce Lee.
Jim
My
Kelly?
instructor, Brian Cleo, Jim Kelly, Chuck Norris, all of them. I mean, when I was a kid. So Bruce Lee was the main.
How old were you when you started actually training, taking it
I was 6
seriously?
years old when I started. I would say when I take it seriously, probably 15 when I started competing. Back then, you know, as a kid, you're just having fun. But when you start competing, that's when it gets serious. You know, you got another guy that's
Okay. Any other questions? We have Taimak right here, yo.
What was your training like? How often would you train a day for the movie?
How often I was training what? Oh, I would train every day. You know, you're a teenager, so this is like your passion. So you do it every day. You know? I'll get up in the morning like 5:30, and I go running about 3 to 6 miles, depending on the day. And after I come back home, I eat something, fall asleep for an hour, go to school, get up after school, do my homework. Then go way out. There was only one kickboxing studio when I was kickboxing, all the way out about an hour away, walking in the freezing weather in New York at that time. And train then, come back and do it every day. You know, get with my friend, Jerry was a point fighter. He was a USA champion. Jerry Fast Fontes, and we would be kicking uphill with weight vests on. We go crazy. We do crazy things, you know. Yeah.
So, what belt level do you hold in which disciplines right now?
I got a brown belt in Taekwondo, a black belt in karate. Well, boxing and kung fu don't have belts, but I did that all my life. Now, jiu-jitsu I'm always the belt, pretty much.
Okay, you definitely kicked my ass though. So. Do you have any other
I can
questions,
run
guys?
fast.
Any questions?
Did Quincy Jones produce that movie?
No, that was very good.
Very
Chairman of
Barry,
Motown.
okay, yeah. I'd like to know, well, I guess this is kind of a two-part question. I know certain actors choose not to see their own work, and some do. Did you, obviously, I'm sure at this point you've seen it, when the movie first premiered, were you one of those people who wanted to see the final product? Or
Oh, yeah. My first movie, I'm 19, working with all these crazy, great people. I was like, wow, look at that, But then after a while, it's like looking in the mirror too much,
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Take it easy.
answers my second question, was what was the reaction when you first saw yourself?
Well,
in the
everybody was
final
there.
product?
There was a lot of stars there, Diana Ross, back in those days. Cheryl Ladd was one of Charlie's Angels. It was all these stars that came to the premiere, and I was just a kid from New York.
Would that be considered like part of the blaxploitation type film, or would that be considered like in that category, like blaxploitation?
You tell me. Yeah.
I
I don't even know what that means.
Although I'll tell you though,
Blaxploitation was more of a middle 70s.
I'm like an Italian. I don't even go there, so I don't even think in those terms.
I hear you.
Is there any other questions? Right over here.
Right here.
I got a question. So, you were saying that you didn't have that much acting experience, before this role, but you played that role of Bruce Leroy, the innocence of it, and so forth, so
I was born the
well.
year of the dragon. Bruce Lee was a dragon. I'm a dragon. It was called The Last Dragon. It was just meant to be. some things it's meant to be. You know?
Have you ever been seriously injured on set?
Not on a set, but in training.
The bullet?
Yeah.
Come on.
I knew that was coming, the bullet fatigue. I knew that one was coming.
It's yours. Any other questions?
We were talking about theater earlier and movies after that. When you're doing a movie and then when you just watch it at the premiere, how different was it in your head as you were filming it piece by piece, and then you see it as a whole film? How much did it surprise you? Like,
In that time, it's even like now, even now, I think there's a missing, I like to fill that void, and God willing, that is in my destiny. That will happen again. But I believe there's a void in action films, in martial arts and action films specifically. I don't think nobody's been able to really capture that. Nobody. Back then as a kid, I didn't know that I was going to be the one at that moment. But I knew that there was a void then. Even though I was a kid, I knew it was going to be last the test of time. You just feel it, you got all these talented characters. You have Julius Carey showing up, walking by, looking at, I'd sit down, be eating or something, and he'd come out to the door like this. Man, comes to the door, he's like, get your boy. And he'd walk away. He's eating lunch, and he'd be walking that character. And then, there was all those different characters. The kid that played Leo, God bless his soul, Leo as a kid, some of these kids, they act like old men, and he was like an old man, and all those different characters were so interesting. The Chinese guys, they were so, it's just like you guys, if you were actors, and maybe some of you are, you just, as another actor, you're sitting there looking at them, and they're doing some monologue, whatever they're doing. It's just crazy. And you're just looking at it like, wow. And then they start shooting it, and then you're like, wow, this is like interesting. So it was like that. It was a bunch of really authentically talented people.
Did you eat a lot of Chinese food on set?
Chopsticks. And popcorn.
Question to you. I got a question for you. I'm not sure if anybody asked you this, but did it take a lot of takes during the shooting of the movie?
A lot of takes shooting the movie. Some scenes no. Some were very quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question. So how did you feel when the LMFAO said, rocking out like Bruce Lee got the glow, yo?
Yeah,
I was thinking of the Chi when I saw that glow.
the thing was, it was interesting because I didn't even know about it until the fans were saying, this guy's saying this. And, I remember meeting the kid, the guy.
It was Red,
redhead, the redhead one.
Yeah.
When Very Good did the movie, I met him when I was a kid. But I didn't see him since then. I haven't seen him since then.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I love those effects.
I need one more question.
One more question.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I just want to know, since then up to now, what is the biggest thing you've learned as an actor?
Biggest thing I learned as an actor is to
Person and an actor.
okay. Okay, as an actor, the biggest thing I learned is, when you're working with other actors, a lot of the actors, they're young, and they don't have confidence, and that's like, and you could say that in life too, but when you don't have it as an actor, you're young, or anytime, you tend to want to steal everything. You want to be the person that gets this, gets that. But it's usually the person that's confident, has talent, that doesn't, basically you learn how to just relax and just be part of the team. It's just like in sports. You're going to get the ball because you're a badass. You don't need to be stealing the ball. Your time's coming. Your time's coming. And then you're going to score that touchdown. Rather than always have to argue and fight. And as a person, the biggest thing I learned as a person is, you always, it really is about valuing yourself. A lot of times, it's hard to think that you're priceless. It's hard to think that you're a priceless human being. Even if I say that to you, you're like, what the hell is I'm priceless? I can't pay my rent. How you talking about I'm priceless? But when you really get that you're priceless and you behave that way, and you treat other people that way, then you get paid big bucks. And it's not even about the big bucks, getting paid big bucks. It's about you get things. You get love, you get money, you get everything you want because you're treating people with that same type of respect. Because you're priceless. You live a certain way. That's the biggest thing I learned. I'm not preaching because for me, that was the biggest thing I learned in life. Have my room messy one day, but get it in order. Raise my boys to my father or mother one day, make up, send some flowers, call, hey dad, I love you. It's like your priceless. Treat people that way. Treat yourself that way. Be thankful. So that's the biggest thing I learned, man. Because I'm gonna be 50 next year, and I'm gonna, and I can't wait to, bro. I can't wait to be 60 because life is just getting better for me because of these things. I learned that you can do anything you want in life. The thing that you think you can't do, surprise, you can. Anything. And we're living in a time where there's information everywhere to gain that knowledge. You don't have no right to not believe yourself. That's right. Get over it. That's right. So, I'm just trying to have fun with people and have a good time, man.
That's what's up, man. Taimak, everybody. Last Dragon. This is your boy, Mr. Skills. Up in here in Allentown with my boy Craig.
Allentown, yo, we don't fuck around.
For real, yo.
It's the Jersey, PA connection. It's the connection, yo. It's all about linking it. Linking it in, man. Sharing energy, sharing the vibe. And if you're on that positive vibe, you gotta work that. You gotta work positivity, man. There's not enough positivity in the world today.
Bro.
Yeah, send me that video.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have it on YouTube and everything. So yeah, I got you, T. Yeah. Yo, I would never thought anywhere in my lifetime to meet this man. I would never thought that, yo, what? Like, my dream came true. For real. Alright, y'all, this is Mr. Skills in Allentown, Comic-Con 2013. Chilling with my boys, Craig, he put all this together. This is the man that made all this happen.
I had some help.
He had some help, yeah. He had some help, but it happened. So, Allentown Comic-Con 2013. Peace.